Hey friends, I'm Dan Folds.
Hey, and I'm Brandon Bain.
This is Rubbin' and Grubbin'.
Rubbin' is racing.
And Grubbin' is tasting. Listen, we are so glad that you are here with us tonight. Hopefully we can make this worth your time. And my producer is saying I need to jump up and down. A year ago this week, the world shut down. You guys remember that? We're coming back, so everybody hang in there. Listen, the shots are coming out. CDC just said if you've had the shots, like there's situations you've got to wear a mask. Man. We are coming back to a normal world as we used to know it, and man, I'm excited about that.
Oh, I'm ready for it, man. I'm tired of the mask, tired of the gloves, tired of everything. Ready to get back to some normalcy that we have here in the great United States, and start getting together, man, and seeing everybody again. So.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Hey, it's time for the Rubbin' and Grubbin' word of the day. If you're over 21, play along and take a shot or a sip of your favorite adult beverage when you hear one of us say that word. We have no idea what that word is. Tonight's word of the day is, when you hear it, cheers. The word of the day last week was wreck.
Wreck. All right.
NASCAR news. Carl Edwards is running for the U.S. Senate in Missouri.
That's pretty interesting, man. I mean, from NASCAR, you know, maybe from NASCAR to the White House, man. You never know. So I think it's good, you know, him being involved in his home state, you know, definitely getting involved and doing some political things and definitely probably bringing in a different insight into what they're used to. So I'm all for it, man. So, you know, if you're out there in Missouri and it's coming up, man, vote Carl Edwards for your Senate, man.
You know, he's a pretty smooth character.
Oh, yeah.
And now that I think of it, when I think about Carl Edwards, I think of Tybee's past mayor, Jason.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, kind of, you know, he's smooth, he's cool. He doesn't lose his cool. I mean, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I've seen Edwards lose his cool a couple times. I watched him put Keselowski into a fence in Atlanta and about kill him. And yeah, that's a guy. Definitely, I don't know if anybody's been watching or if you kept up with the sport long enough. He was on the cover of Men's Fitness one time. And I can tell you right now, that dude is jacked, man, or was.
Physically fit, yeah.
He was jacked, man. That would be one guy I definitely wouldn't want to run into in the garage area, man.
You think about that. In the early days of NASCAR, you know, NASCAR drivers, I mean,
yeah, man.
They were hard drinking, hard smoking, hard partying dudes, right?
That's it.
And all of a sudden, this fitness, starting with my man Mark Martin up there.
That's it. That was you know, older driver that really started setting the standards for taking care of yourself and conditioning your body, and it paid off for him. Got some wins there later on in his career as he got older with Hendrick. It's pretty cool, man. But he kind of set the new trend, and now it's just the way of the sport
now
for
everybody.
most drivers,
They're all working out. Yep, that's cool. Bristol Motor Speedway, the NASCAR race will have 4 qualifying heats of 15 laps each.
Yep.
Watching the Dirt Nationals practice, we have determined that track is fast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be ridiculous. I mean, what you're watching there for the Nationals this week and what you're going to see when we get there after Atlanta, it's going to be night and day. One, it's just way lighter race cars than what they're racing now compared to what they're getting ready to race. And like I said, again, these are guys that race on dirt all the time, whether it's anywhere, you know, and the guys in the Cup Series, not all of them race on dirt. And it's going to be very interesting, man. But the four heats of 15 laps is going to be really neat. I also read they're going to award drivers for how many cars they pass through that heat.
Okay.
And they're also going to allow drivers that if you wreck that car during that heat or damage that car, you're going to be able to bring it in and fix it before the actual race. So. Big kudos to NASCAR. I mean, bringing back some roots of the local dirt tracks or you know, dirt track racing. So big kudos to them. Like I said, I don't know how I feel about it yet. I got to watch it first.
Right.
As we've said many a times on here, I think there's a lot of other dirt race tracks out in the United States. One, it's not going to hold the people. I understand that. But there's a lot of other racetracks you could have brought them to for this, and Bristol, to me, those are 2 of the best races all year.
Right.
So if it lives up to the hype and it's really entertaining and exciting and a really good race, not a wreck fest, just a really good race, I'll definitely give some kudos out there for that. But if it is something a little different and a lot of cars wrecking, not many guys finishing, I'm going to say we go back to the original asphalt Bristol when this rolls back around next year. And like I said, I gave my prediction. I say I think it was 8 or 9 cars finish on the lead lap. That's it. So
8 or 9 cars, no more on the lead lap at Bristol. That's big. Brandon Bain's prediction. Make a note. SRX revealed the new car, and Kenny Schrader, is about my age, and I kind of like Mr. Schrader. Kenny Schrader tested it at Carolina Speedway, and it looks great.
Yeah, man, still racing everywhere. I mean, he's doing his own thing, you know. Still does a lot of dirt track racing himself.
Yeah.
And what a better guy to go out and test a car, especially after how many generations of Cup cars he's ran. And then on top of that, the experience that he has for maybe the style of racing that they're leaning towards going. So definitely big kudos to him for that. And definitely Stewart and Evernham, man. Like I said, they're going to get this thing put together. It's going to be interesting. It's really going to be neat. It's going to give you something different other than the Cup Series. And like I said, if you're a fan of racing, not just NASCAR, but all forms of racing, it's another thing to watch, man. Another series to find a guy you root for. So,
if you don't remember Kenny Schrader, just over 20 years ago, you know, he was friends with Dale Earnhardt Sr., and just over 20 years ago, he was the gentleman that got out of his race car and ran up to Senior's car. So he was the guy that saw Senior immediately post-crash during the wreck when Dale Earnhardt Sr. passed away. Schrader is a cool guy, and he's recently been like in our area, and we missed it.
Yeah,
like,
he was
right up the road, you know.
Yeah, he was at I think a Chevrolet dealership. I think it might have been Dan Vaden he was at. Wish he would have came by here. That would have been kind of cool.
He was also racing, I think, at Screven.
Screven, pretty sure it was.
And you know who else was at Screven? Stewart.
Oh yeah,
Stewart was up there.
Yeah, they got a pretty good little dirt.
We got to go check that out.
Yeah, it's a good little drive from here. I tend to drink too much to be trying to drive.
Well, so we need to have a driver. If you would like to volunteer to drive the entire Rubbin' and Grubbin' team and staff, because we all drink, if you're willing to drive, we'll rent a bus, and if you'll drive, come on, we're going to do that.
We'll do it.
NASCAR parity, 4 different winners in the first 4 races. They said this was going to be the best season ever.
Yeah, man. I mean,
and they are starting out on a roll.
Yeah, we're getting it rolling, man. I mean, 4 races, 4 faces, man.
Yeah,
so, going to be totally different to see. Here we are going on to race 5, and we could very easily have a different winner again this week. So it's going to be interesting to keep up and watch these playoff spots dwindle down. From guys that you're expecting to run good that haven't quite performed good enough to get that win yet this season.
Right.
I mean, we still have a lot of big names. Not saying Kyle Larson and these guys aren't big names, but they're just not, we're not accustomed to used to seeing these guys locked in so early.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Kyle Busch and, Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott and Logano and Keselowski and Blaney and these guys over the last few seasons that have been winning races. Denny Hamlin, 7 wins last year, Harvick with 9. Yet to get a win. It's going to happen.
I'm kind of happy that this year is not the Hamlin-Harvick show.
Right, me too.
It's new stuff.
Definitely me too. I think that a lot of teams have caught up. It's very evident with Hendrick and what they've been doing there. I mean, to me, they are the all-around best team that's running right now as a collective whole. So, and there again, 2 out of the 4 guys already got wins this season. So it's going to be interesting, like I said, to see what happens here. Like I said, we go to Phoenix coming up. A little bit of a different race track than we've been to so far this season.
Right.
And like I always say, you go there and then you go Atlanta and you go Bristol. And pretty much after that race, you can kind of start figuring out who's got what when we go where. It's going to be interesting to keep up with. But like I said, this week could be an easy fifth different winner, this season. So.
A slight aside, we're at Coach's Corner, the center of the universe in Thunderbolt, Georgia. We've had some beautiful weather here the last couple of days. And I would just like to report that the air conditioner just came on.
Yeah, it did.
And that's a damn good sign right there.
It feels nice, man. It does feel nice.
The AC, we're back to having the air conditioner.
That's it, man.
Oh, I like it.
Another thing, come out, celebrate with John and Adele up here at Coach's Corner, man. 30th birthday bash for coaches here, man. It's a big time. Got bands Friday night. You got bands Saturday and Sunday. Highly recommend you guys coming out and checking it out. Show some love for these people.
30 years.
Yeah,
30
man.
years.
It's a long time, and to be here and stay established and for what they've done with what they have, I mean, it's absolutely amazing.
How old are you?
I'm 35, so I remember.
Damn near when they started, I was about your age.
Yep. That's it, man. Well,
damn near.
Damn, Dan.
Now look here. You might notice that tonight I am representing for Freedom Boat Club Savannah, because I do instruction for them, and I've been doing some captain work for Freedom. And so I'm trying not to swear. I'm trying my best not to drop a swear word while I'm wearing this shirt, because I actually love Freedom Boat Club. It's a spectacular business. I love the family that owns and operates it, and I'm very happy to be associated with them, and I don't want to embarrass them in any way.
Yeah.
So I'll try not to be swearing.
Yep.
But if I do say a swear word, I want you to know that every time I do, $1 for charity is going in this bucket. So I'll do my best. Yep. And if you're not familiar, by the way, with Freedom Boat Club, I wholeheartedly recommend you check it out. It's a spectacular deal.
And I do have some big news I just want to drop really quick, man. Rubbin' and Grubbin' officially has their first sponsor. Arborman Tree Service out there in Savannah, a really good buddy of mine, Parker Eccles is the owner.
Yeah.
So anybody out there looking for some tree service, removal, stump grinding, whatever it is you need tree service-wise, make sure you give Parker a call. Google him up. I'll give the number out here later on.
Parker's a good guy, man.
And he's going to put it on there. Yeah, he is. And locally, you know, from here, built himself up, went to school with him, played baseball with him, sports with him my whole life, man. Really, really, really good, down-to-earth dude, and very personable. But I just want to drop that big bit of news. That is our first official
Parker, I'm so excited about you doing this. Listen, we do charitable events here at Coach's Corner, and occasionally we spill over and we go out. And, you know, we're helping Randy Davis, helping Becca. We go out. We have barbecue contests, and actually Big enters every single charity barbecue contest we have.
I've placed in every one so far. I haven't won any of them, but I finished second twice and third this past year, which I don't know how that happened. But anyways, at the end of the day, I'm going to get a win.
So I'm very grateful that Big does enter all these barbecue contests. And also Parker, who owns Arborman Tree Service. Yep. Parker is a good soul, a good egg, and he comes out and competes, and he has great food, and he feeds everybody. But in addition to cooking well, he can also trim your tree and save your house. How about that?
Yes, he can, man. Yes, he
can.
Trim
your tree and save your house. All right, Parker, we're grateful that you're sponsoring us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, hey, and if you're watching, brother, I got some T-shirts and stuff coming your way, man.
What's his phone number?
I got to give it out. I got to look. I don't know it off the top of my head, but Lawrence is going to pop it on the bottom of the video here for YouTube.
By the magic of the computer, yeah. There will be an Arborman somewhere.
That's it. But I will have it on display next week to give out. So, like I said, if you need it right away, just Google it. Wham, bam, he's right there, man.
Hey, man, what if Arborman is the word of the week?
I love it. Hey, it's already off to a good start. In that case, I mean, you know, like I said, call Arborman Tree Service.
Right.
We get some people drinking at home today. You know, let's do it, man.
So, if we keep having new guys win races,
yeah,
at some point, like what's going to happen with like you win and you're in. You win and you're in. I mean, there's only 16?
Hypothetically speaking, if you win, you're in. So 16 drivers get to go into what we call the playoffs now. So if there's 16 different winners, let's say there's 17 different winners.
17 winners.
If there's 17 winners, it's going to come between 16 and 17, and I'm pretty sure it comes down to best average finish, or there's a tiebreaker that they have set up. Now, do I think we'll see 16 or 17 different winners this year? I don't. I really don't. But now if you do the 4 that have already won, and then you go on to how many are still left to win, it's going to be very close to hitting that 14, 15 number. So it's going to be interesting to see, man. I mean, guys got to get on it and get these wins. You know, these teams that already have wins, they have nothing to lose at this point as long as they maintain that top 30. I mean, they can go out and try new setups, do different things, and learn from it. So.
Hendrick Motorsports has won 2 of the first 4 races, with William Byron in Miami and Kyle Larson in Las Vegas.
Yeah, man.
How about that?
Making huge moves, man. I said last week the one thing I wanted to see from Hendrick and at the beginning of the season is consistency on the 1.5 miles.
Yeah.
I said I felt like this was their weakest point over the past couple years. You know, going out and getting Kyle Larson and signing him, I said it last year on the show before everything happened with him, which he's doing his stuff that he needs to be doing. He's back in now. But I really thought that was going to be the guy to take over for Jimmy when he retired out of that 48. And still to this day, I don't think anybody can tell me anything different, that it was going to be Kyle Larson.
Right.
But, you know, to come back into the 5 and go out, and I didn't expect him to get a win this early. I said, well, out of the car for almost a full year. Got to get it back underneath him. He's got to figure it out. didn't take him long at all to figure it out. As a matter of fact, he was the fastest to a win for Rick Hendrick since signing. 4 races is all it took him since signing with Rick Hendrick.
Yeah.
So big kudos to Kyle
He came
Larson.
back.
Oh, yeah, on
with
a
a
vengeance,
flash.
man. And if you kept up with him in the offseason, I mean, he's been winning everything on dirt you can possibly win. So the kid's got an uber amount of talent driving it, and that's what I care about. I wanted to see him come back from the mistakes that he's made, learn from it, and be a good patron of the sport like he is. He does a lot of good things. So if anybody's out there ever questioning Kyle Larson, go out and look at some of the stuff that he does charity-wise and for the diversity program that he's been doing before this. Definitely check it out, man. But, yeah, man, William Byron and Kyle Larson to get those wins is huge for Hendrick Motorsports. 2 of those 4 are locked in. You got the last year's champion Elliott still hunting for that first win, and you got Bowman out there for that win, man. And I can tell you what, man. All I know is that race this past weekend, old half-mile Kyle was flying, man. I mean, I think he had 9 second-place finishes before he finally got that first 1.5 mile win. Yeah. And I can tell you, if there's a couple other racetracks out there, they might not all be 1.5 miles, but I'm going to tell you right now, you better be watching out for this 5-car, man.
That is so cool. So, Big, what's up with Stewart-Haas Racing?
Phew.
They're in a slump. None of the 4 cars finished better than 20th Sunday. Harvick was 20th, Briscoe was 21st, Custer was 25th, and Almirola was 38th.
Well, I don't know. It could be a numerous things. If you ask me, I mean, Harvick's definitely obviously going to come back and get his wins. He'll be a multiple winner before the season's over. We all know that. And if he doesn't, and he does have a slump year, then he does. I mean, all the greats go through that. I don't care if you're talking Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Busch!
I don't care if, correct, you're talking Kyle Busch. I don't care if you're talking Richard Petty. And to be honest, Kyle Busch really didn't have that long of a slump. He just only won 1 race last year, and we're accustomed to seeing him winning 4 or 5.
Right.
I mean, Senior went 2 seasons, maybe even more than that, before getting a win again. He had some issues there, and Gordon had a streak for a while. And I mean, let's not forget Jimmy Johnson. We're talking about a guy that's won 83 races and 7 championships and didn't win a race in the last 2 seasons that he was racing.
Yeah.
3 seasons almost. So I mean, it happens. But I think Kevin Harvick. I think what it is, is they've got some things that are a little bit different. A lot of teams have caught up to where we were last year. I think the pandemic and the COVID kind of caught everybody off guard last year and threw some teams for a loop, especially with the no qualifying, no practice. Just kind of, hurt some guys. Mm-hmm. Now, I expect Harvick here. We're coming up to one of his best racetracks in Atlanta. Guaranteed he's going to run really good there. He's got some other racetracks coming up he runs good at. Phoenix, before they reconfigured it, even after they reconfigured it, still runs pretty good. So it's only a matter of time before he gets it together. Now, what else I look at is Kevin Harvick is the staple of that stable. You got Chase Briscoe, who's extremely young. You got Cole Custer, who's extremely young. And you got Eric Almirola, who's been doing it for a while. And I don't mean to put him down. I'm not hating on Eric Almirola by no means, because he's talented enough to be driving these cars.
Right.
And had an amazing season last year as far as top 10s. I think he had like 22 top 10 finishes, or maybe even more than that. So he had a really good streak running for a while. I just think that Harvick is the ring leader there. I mean, this is the guy that you look towards, a champion, a winner, wins. And also, with that being said, I mean, Tony Stewart's got his own thing going on with Ray Evernham. I don't know. I mean, obviously with the sponsors he has, I'm sure the money's still getting pumped in. But is he able to do the day-to-day stuff with that team that he probably was doing before?
Right.
A little bit of a disconnect. Right.
Yeah.
Trying to get this going at the same time.
Superstar racing experience.
Right. Yep. So. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a number of different factors there that might be restricting this team a little bit, but you can guarantee here, before halfway, Harvick's going to be locked into those playoffs, if not another one of these guys. So, I mean, it's definitely coming.
Cool. Excellent. Dude, I love it when you just start putting out information. I can just sit here. It is so cool. We started this show because I used to ask him questions at a game of skill over here. And this, I don't know if you picked up on this, but there's a lot going on in that head of his. And it's a lot going on about more than NASCAR. He's actually also a championship bowler.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that showed up because, the Herbs out here, I mean, the champions, I got to refer to him as champion the rest of the year. But
that worked out okay. That bowling
that was fun, man. At the end of the day, I think the total came in to almost right at $8,000, man. And I tell you what, thanks to everybody out there that donated and gave love, and definitely big shout outs to the companies that sponsored and gave donations as well. Like I said, we just get to go and have the fun, but it's because of y'all out there the reason why we're able to make these donations and give back to the local community and these charities. So keep up the good work out there, guys. Like I said, anytime, swing into coaches. drop some money in, just say, hey, I want to make a donation. Don't even know what it's got to be towards. Ask. There's probably numerous things going on all the time. But come in, donate some money, even if it's $1, $5, $10, doesn't matter, man. Whatever it is, come by and show some love.
So there's word on the street that there will be a Coach's Corner Sports Network golf tournament.
Yeah.
And I just want you to rest assured that when we had the bowling tournament, I got the golf score. And when we have the golf tournament, I'll get the bowling score.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, we're gonna have to talk about these rules for this golf tournament because Earths play together all the time. So we're gonna have to come up with something to split them up, or they gotta drink the night before and not sleep very much, and then come play.
They play better when they drink.
Right. Something's got to give, man. We got to get that figured out. But either way,
listen. If you haven't seen any of the pictures or any of the video from that
it was
bowling
a blast, man.
It is hilarious. And thank God there's not much about me in there because I pretty much suck.
Hey.
My last name is Gutter.
Hey, we both didn't do good, but at the end of the day, it was fun, man.
Hey, did you see that picture of you? There's a professional photographer. There is a picture of you with that ball that you just palm, you know?
Yeah.
And you are like, I mean, it's a beautiful picture. It is, and you look like a freaking rock star, dude.
Yeah.
Rock star.
Next time, I think I'm going to have my buddy come out and dress up as big, and he can be big for the bowling tournament, man. So we'll get it right.
That was a lot of fun.
And it was, man.
Most importantly, I don't want to jump ahead of the script here, but most importantly, the reason we did that bowling tournament was to raise money for a local charity called Help Save One of Our Own. Which is like kind of the money behind all. When we have a charitable project, we'll do stuff here, and we'll try to raise money. And whatever we can raise, well, Help Save One of Our Own backstops us, and they come in with a big check.
Yeah, they helped us out tremendously.
Big check. So this year we're trying to help them. So don't let me get ahead of myself. What about Bubba Wallace?
Whew. Man, I tell you what. This is why this sport is so tough. One, you're a single car operation. Yeah, you got technical alliance with Gibbs. They're probably giving you some information. This is why it's so tough as a single car operation. A brand new team put together, new crew chief on, Mike Wheeler and Bubba Wallace together, crew members, engineers, shop, car builders. I mean, from the ground up, from the guy that sweeps the floor to the guy that sits on top of the box or Bubba Wallace driving the car. This is why it's very hard to do this. And I've read an article on Denny Hamlin saying we need to become a multi-car team as soon as possible.
Right.
They need more than one car, and that's very true. And I don't think we've seen the best of Bubba yet. I think it's probably going to take him a little while to get from the equipment that he's used to driving, where he's been with Richard Petty, and now moving into this, a totally different manufacturer, and the way that I'm sure they're setting these cars up and building these cars are totally different than the way that Petty did. So just give them time. Anybody out there that expect them to come out and knock this out of the park first part of the year, the expectations are unrealistic. It's very unrealistic. The most important thing for him to do is go out, and if he's got a 25th place car, finish 20th. If he's got a 15th place car, finish 12th. Just bring it home in one piece. Run your race.
Don't crash.
Right. Don't crash. Don't try to run it too hard. Just settle, man. Just take it what it is, one step above it. And you do that, and you build that momentum, and you start getting guys clicking and things start getting together. He can go out and have those top 5s, top 10s. And, like I said, there's still some really good races coming up for him as well. The expectation bar might have been set here because of the names that are on the car and the ownership.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we all got to be realistic. You got to work your way up to that bar being set.
Yep.
And I don't think setting a very high standard is nothing wrong with that. I think that propels your team and gives everybody motivation to try to reach that.
Right.
Let's just not get too far ahead of ourselves and think we're here when we're really still kind of here. So big kudos again to Denny Hamlin, Michael Jordan, Bubba Wallace putting that together, man. I really think it's going to be something here. I think it's definitely going to work for Bubba here down the road. Like I said, he's just got to get some more time in the seat and just have some things go his way, man. And he'll definitely bounce back. They'll have at least a couple good finishes this year for sure.
I don't remember where I saw this last year because I'm old and I have senior moments. But I read about or heard about a team where the leader of the team got everybody together. And you just mentioned, the guy that sweeps the floor, right?
Right.
Got everybody together and said, what I want you to do is ask yourself today, how can I make this team better? How can I make my team more successful? You know, maybe not win a race, but just be better.
Yeah,
you know,
overall execution,
just get better every week.
Day, right?
And that's every single person on the team. Like, the team will win. The driver is the tip of the iceberg. You know, the car is what everybody sees, but the team's success or failure is everybody, right?
Correct.
And everybody's got to click together. And I think probably another thing they got to do is put themselves last. You got to put the team first. Put yourself last. If you want to be part of a winning team, you got to be a winning team member.
Yeah.
And that's enough about that. All right. So getting back to his winning ways, Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch finished a season-high third, giving him back-to-back top tens with new crew chief Ben Bashore.
Yeah, man. I tell you, it's a streaky sport, and I said it at the beginning of the year, man. Kyle Busch is not going to have a repeat of 2020. I don't think, honestly, everybody knows I don't really care for his personality, the way he carries himself, you know, on the camera and the things he does. I know he does a lot of good as well. All these guys do, and big kudos for him for that. It's just not my cup of tea when it comes to personality.
Right.
But I've never denied the fact that he is probably one of the most talented race car drivers ever to sit behind the wheel of a NASCAR, of a Cup Series car, any series car in NASCAR.
He's a talented kid.
Yeah, and to watch him struggle last year and get that one win in Texas when we were sitting right here and watched it.
Yeah.
And I had him in our game of skill, which I loved. But at the end of the day, you know, you just got to understand this guy is 35 or 36 years old. You know, he's a year older than me or 8-9 months older than me. And he's been doing this for 18 seasons or however many seasons. He's still got another 15 seasons if he wants it.
He's also got like a museum.
Right, of trophies.
Yeah, I mean, he's got like this huge building.
I mean, he's probably got a 2,000 square foot house that's got nothing but his trophies, man. I mean, it's insane what he's done. So
he's got like a mock-up of his first, car shop and all that stuff.
It's neat, man. I mean, he's a cool dude, and like I said,
and he's got a kid that races.
Just not my cup of tea, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like I said, he's got an uber amount of talent, and third place and 2 consecutive top tens. It's only going to build for him. And it's one of those guys that once he gets that win, you better start watching out. You know, if you've kept up with the series since he's come in, 2-time champion, 50-something wins in the Cup Series, 90-something in the Xfinity Series. I don't know, maybe over 100 in the trucks or 80 in the trucks. I don't even know what the numbers are, but it's absolutely ridiculous. But at the end of the day, you've watched it. And I'm going to tell you what happens to Kyle Busch is when we hit that summer, when we hit after the Coca-Cola 600 and we go June, July, and August, he kind of has a lull every year. He kind of backs down, and most of the time by then he's already got so many wins that it really doesn't matter. It doesn't affect him that much. Last year we did see it affect him. He did get that win. He did get in, didn't advance very far.
Right.
But like I said, it is that slump. He's got to get the consistency together throughout that whole season, and he'll be 4, 5, 6, 7-time champion himself, man. But like I said, 2021 is a new year. 2020 was last year, and Kyle Busch is coming for another championship this year, man. He's gonna be a contender. He's gonna be a contender. I can tell you right now, I guarantee Kyle Busch did not like the fact that Denny Hamlin was running for that championship and not him. He did not like the fact that Denny had put himself atop the Joe Gibbs stable. Kyle Busch in any realm is, this is my realm, this is my house, So, and to do this with a brand new crew chief. So, I mean, I give big kudos to him, man. He's the leader of this team, and I think as he gets older, I've noticed he's starting to really take the role on of being that leader and trying to check some of the emotions sometimes. Now, the scanner radio between him and crew chief or him and spotter, that's meant for them to talk, not so much the public. So when you hear the way that he is on that, that's just his personality behind the wheel of the race car. There's plenty of other guys out there that do the same thing.
Right.
It's just he's very, boisterous about what he needs or what he says or how he feels. So,
dear Mr. NASCAR, I used to talk on a radio that had a crypto security device attached to it. It would be very easy for you to get a very simple device where your driver could talk to the crew chief or talk to the spotter and nobody else would know what was going on.
Yeah, but then you're taken away from the fans. You know, that's one of the greatest things about being a fan is you go to these races, you can rent scanners and you can listen to the crew and the driver, and you listen to all this. I mean, that's what kind of makes it different. You can't listen to a head coach on a football team or baseball team calling plays.
Right.
I mean, they're scared of signal stealing and this and that.
Right.
NASCAR, I mean, what are you going to do? Go climb, walk across the track while it's going, get into pit road, climb into the crew chief, and by that time it's old information, right? So, I mean, it's something that they really got to kind of do.
Maybe we should say if you don't like profanity and you don't want to hear, don't listen.
And I think
look
for me,
away.
For me, it's more of the broadcasting and the networks, the Fox and the NBCs and the ESPNs. Instead of dwelling on that and making it known in the limelight and portraying this person to be this way, how about let's not, and let's find somebody that had some positive, feedback or something else, not, Kyle Busch going off about how crappy or shitty his car is and how nobody can get it right and he can't drive it and he's pissed. I mean, we know that. I mean, me not being a Kyle Busch fan, I love it. I'm like, oh, this is great.
Well, I admire results. And sometimes I don't care for people, how they behave.
Right.
But you can't argue with results.
No, you can't argue with the talent, man.
And also, I've watched videos of him with his son.
Yeah,
and
great dad.
I like the way he dads.
He's a competitor, man.
He's got dad skills.
He's got the most competitive heart in the sport. He does not like to finish second. He wants to go out and win every single race. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
That's what his sponsors pay for, by the way.
Well, on top of that, that's you as a person.
Right.
He's got a brother that's not that way. You know what I mean? Kurt's kind of chilled out in his older age and never really was. Kyle is that guy. When he gets on that racetrack, he expects to win every single week. And if he doesn't, it's a bummer to him. But he's getting better with it. So.
Are you familiar with Spingate? Kyle Busch?
Oh yeah. I watched it.
What's up with that?
All right. So last week during the truck race, Kyle Busch, big kudos to John Hunter Nemechek there again, driving a KBM Motorsports car, by the way, which is truck, by the way, which is pretty cool. Pretty exciting race there at Vegas. We get down to a certain amount of laps to go. I don't really remember. I think about 28, 29, somewhere inside 30 laps to go. Well, Kyle comes in, gets the pit stop, got a little bit of a fender rub that he's had for a while, ends up cutting a tire. Okay, goes from running top 3, 4 to having to come in, for a tire. So as he's coming in, he hits the apron. He's made an incredible save, by the way, that 9 out of 10 guys would have totally wrecked the truck.
Right.
He saved it, got it to the apron, driving back to pit road. They're still under green. Well, he, spun. The truck spun, whether it was intentional or whether it was from the tire.
Right.
Anyways, anyways, he spun and caused a caution to come out. He manipulated the race by throwing a caution in a way.
Okay.
And they didn't deem it intentional there. I know that they're reviewing the footage, or we're going to. But at the end of the day, it happened. And, so they're definitely going to be, NASCAR's definitely going to be paying a closer eye to if guys try to manipulate the race by doing things of that nature.
Right.
And Kyle Busch is good enough. I'm sure he could have got that truck back around with that flat tire on the apron. But at the end of the day, what a run he had, because he came in, got a tire, was a lap down, restarted 28, drove all the way up in there, got another caution, got his lap back, restarted in the back again, drove all the way through the field, and ended up finishing second as an owner of the truck to John Hunter Nemechek that finished first. So it was a 1-2 finish for KBM Motorsports, which, I mean, I'm sure he would have loved to have it on the other foot just because he loves to win. But, I mean, it's got to be a big moment, proud moment as an owner, to go out and do that with your equipment and dominate. I mean, John Hunter Nemechek and him were the absolute class of the field all night. Those guys were flying, man.
I like John Hunter Nemechek. I think his name's cool. I think his dad's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's just a neat guy.
I loved it, man. They talked about it on the broadcast this weekend about how, he was in the Cup Series, and he lost that ride in the Cup Series, and he said, well, you know what I want to do? I'm going to go back down where I have a lot of fun, but I want to win. He goes, I don't care about this. I don't care about points. I don't care about nothing. I just want to get in the truck or a car, and I want to go win.
And by the way,
and he won.
I love trucks.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Trucks are spectacular.
Yeah, if you guys aren't watching the Truck Series, if there's a NASCAR fan or any kind of racing fan out there not watching the Truck Series right now, you are missing some of the most crazy, incredible
And when
races
you're really going to be watching the truck races is when our Savannah man, Michael Carter, goes and gets his rear end in a truck.
It's coming.
Michael Carter in a truck is going to make everybody in Savannah watch the truck
It's coming, man. We're ready.
I would like to request a rubbin' and grubbin' pit stop. Are there any lovely ladies in the house tonight? Are there any lovely? Could we request a rubbin' and grubbin' pit stop? We need a rubbin' and grubbin' pit stop. We need some lovely ladies. Well, you were supposed to let her bring it.
I'm trying to bring it.
Well, there you go. Now you got multiples, man.
We need a rubbin' and grubbin'.
Now you got
come on right back here.
Oh,
This is the rubbin' and grubbin' pit crew.
Thank you, man.
Soundgarden. Soundgarden babe.
This is the listen.
We do the news.
They do the news here for NASCAR for rubbin' and grubbin', and when we want to raise money for a charitable effort, guess who we go to?
We sell the raffle tickets.
They sell the raffle tickets. These ladies have raised thousands of dollars for the charitable efforts that we put on here. It's spectacular, man.
Big kudos. Great ladies right here. Always enjoy their company. They come up almost every Wednesday and help support me and Dan along with my wife, Lindsay. It's like the group of women.
And
Kim's in the house. We got LB. We got the producer's wife in the house tonight. I mean, the turnout and support from the ladies and the wives of this group is amazing and greatly appreciated for sure.
Spectacular.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ladies.
Come see us at Soundgarden.
Now that wasn't a 9-second pit stop, but it was pretty much fun. That was spectacular. Oh, look. I've got enough fuel to make it to the end of the race.
You're loaded up, man.
All right. Xfinity race. AJ Allmendinger gets a victory.
Yeah, man. AJ went out and got the victory, which
I love
is
his name.
I mean, it was amazing. There again, back running that full schedule there in Xfinity, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Got that win. That was a very good race as well, man. I mean, there again, got out there, got the lead, and was gone, man. So, I love it. Big kudos to a guy who's been at the top of the sport, and honestly was going to drive the 22 car before Joey Logano. Before Penske went out and got Logano after Gibbs had let him go, AJ Allmendinger was in line to get that ride. And there again, he's had his own turmoil and trivial stuff to come over in the sport. He failed for PEDs. Performance-enhancing drugs under NASCAR's protocol, which, it's the same way like football or college athletes are. It's all the same. They have a list of supplements or ingredients that you cannot take, whether it's illegal or whether it's over-the-counter stuff you can buy that, does certain things. There's a list. You can't do this, can't have this, can't have this. One of the supplements that he was taking or took obviously had one of the banned substances that NASCAR doesn't allow you to use. So he had to go, suspended, lost that ride, never got the Penske ride. To come full force, but great driver, man. I'm glad to see him. It was a road course guy that kind of evolved into more of wanting to drive NASCAR on every single track. And this is the guy that came from that, and now here he is making a stake and a claim down there in the Xfinity Series, man. So
that is so cool. Eric Jones gets his first top 10 with RPM.
That was a big surprise, man. That was a real big surprise, and I tell you what, it doesn't surprise me much that it happened. I've always thought Eric Jones has an amazing amount of talent. I said that when he was driving the 20 at Gibbs. How you let him go for Christopher Bell? Well, obviously we saw why. Christopher Bell on the road course there at Daytona getting his first win pretty quick.
Yep.
But I tell you what, Richard Petty has really picked up a kid that has an amazing amount of talent. And if they will just put a little bit back in there, more top 10s by Eric Jones is going to help propel this program back to maybe what it was at one point in time. I don't ever think that you'll see Richard Petty Motorsports go out and contend for championships at this point. I really hate to say that. I feel like,
unless they can find a driver like Richard Petty.
Well, it's not even that. The game's changed so much, and it's such a money game now.
It's all right. Go ahead.
Oh, it's such a money game. It's not even about the talent. You could be the most talented guy and be in the worst piece of equipment, and it doesn't matter. Jeff Gordon could drive the worst piece of equipment and not win a race.
Right.
So it's such a money game, and having the really good equipment on top of having a really good driver. I would love to see them kind of start putting money back into their program, and there again with the travesties they've had in their family with Adam Petty dying. I feel like had Adam Petty never died, we'd be talking about Richard Petty Motorsports contending for wins, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, as long as Eric Jones goes out and does what he did this past week, top 10s, top 15s, consistency, not wrecking race cars, getting those sponsorship dollars out there, getting those new sponsors time to shine, it's going to be great, man. And like I said, kid's got an amazing amount of talent. It's just got to have something to drive too, So big kudos, big shout out to Eric Jones, man. Great top 10. Hope to see it again this week.
And if you're a decent-hearted soul, you have to wish the best for Richard Petty Motorsports.
Oh yeah, you got to, man. If you're a diehard, that's the king, man. If you're a diehard NASCAR fan, man, you got to, man. I mean, that's just what it is. So.
If you have access, If you have access to YouTube, check out this YouTube video called Petty Blue. I mean, if you don't love Richard Petty Motorsports, check out Petty Blue. It's great. The race. Let's just talk about the race. Great 3 and 4 wide restarts.
Yeah, dude. Restarts there again. We called it out last week. Vegas is just absolutely amazing for the restarts.
Yes.
I mean, big shout out there again to PJ Zuko and 104.3 for Green White Checkered. Dan had a nice special guest appearance stuff he had to do this past weekend out there for a movie they're filming here in Savannah, so he wasn't able to be on the show, but he did do a shout out before. And me and PJ were talking about that, man, and we were sitting there and I what makes Vegas so unique? How does it make it different than any other mile and a half? And one is it's the shape. One, it's the shape of the racetrack.
Right.
And two, it's the restarts and the way they use that apron and the way they utilize the track, which they do at other tracks in different places. But at Vegas, the restarts are just so crazy because track position and clean air is everything there.
Yes.
To watch those restarts, man, and watch them go 4 or 5 wide at times and even push the envelope a little bit more and putting noses in there where they shouldn't go. I love it. I absolutely love it. That is one thing I love about the 550 horsepower, that package we take to mile and a half.
Right.
Is the fact restarts are where the money is made. That is where you set yourself up for that win. Now, you don't want to restart a green white checkered. You don't want, with 3 laps to go, another restart if you're leading.
Right.
Now, if you're in 5th or 6th, yeah, you want that. You want another shot. So, and I love that it gives about the top 7 guys a shot.
Right.
At that race win on a late caution or at any time to gain position. So, man, it's amazing. It's one of those cool things, man. It's one of the cool things about Vegas, man.
I hate it that I got in late and only saw the end of the race, but you mentioned it. I fell into the coolest, sweetest gig, and I'm an old dude. I just fell into this thing. I'm running a safety boat for a production company that's filming here in Savannah. If you live in Savannah and you look up and you see, a piece of classic history flying over your head, that's a World War II warbird. And these guys, this is going on in this area, and I'm the only thing I'm doing is I'm providing a safety function for this. And it involves boats.
Right.
And so last Sunday, it was so cool. PJ called me. And I was actually running a 28-foot boat with 600 horsepower behind me, almost as much as a NASCAR, right?
Right.
And I was just coming up on the Skidaway Narrows Bridge, and I got to do that. But yeah, listen, I'm pinching myself. I'm having so much fun with it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Unfortunately,
we miss you, man. I promise you, we miss you. We carried on without you, man.
The show was
pretty
great.
good. I got to listen to it later on the day.
I was out in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
With a rescue diver, a rescue scuba diver, you know, and we had to play it. Man. It was a beautiful day, man.
Hey, and not only that, I do want to give a big shout out to PJ though, because he did pick the winner. He did pick Larson. He did give me a big shout out for picking Byron the week before.
Yeah.
So I told him I can't let this go up without not giving him a big shout out for picking the right guy with Larson. And we're going to talk about more about that Sunday. So if you hadn't heard it yet, tune in every Sunday. You catch Dan, the man, Brandon Big, and you catch PJ Zuko, man, on 104.3 Green White Checkered, 9 to 9:30 every single Sunday morning, getting you prepped for that race. Race day, we talk about all kinds of stuff. NASCAR, a little more structured than here, as I always say, so we're not drinking beer.
No profanity.
If I'm drinking beer at that time, either I got the day off or I'm still up from the night before, which is very rare now at my age, but, sometimes it happens. But at the end of the day, man, make sure you tune in if you've never heard it. It is a good show.
Lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
It is a lot of fun. PJ, thank you so much. Okay, so Kyle Larson won at Vegas. Brand new team, 4 races in, and he gets a win.
Yeah, man. Like I said, that was the quickest Hendrick driver ever signed to win a race. 4 races.
And, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
And Bubba Wallace by the way, going back to last year's controversy, which is in the dustbin of history now, Bubba Wallace walked up and congratulated him.
Yeah, awesome, man. And
Good
rightfully
guy.
so. I'm sure they're buddies. I mean, anybody that read up on the articles with Kyle Larson and what happened to him and the word that he used, I'm not sitting here saying it's right or anything like that, because obviously it's not. But it wasn't a derogatory use. It wasn't to down somebody. It wasn't to put somebody down. It was a slang towards a friend, which, everybody has their feelings about that. Everybody has their opinion about that. I'm not going to get into mine. It doesn't matter at this point. But at the end of the day, you got to cut them a little slack. So for Bubba and him, I'm sure, like I said, they've stayed in touch. I'm sure they were friends, talked, and this and that. And I mean, that's what you do when you see a guy rebound from adversity, whether it be something that is unforeseen, a health issue, whether it be a bad accident, whether it be something like we saw Kyle Larson go through. I always say, as a person, you can make mistakes as long as it's not a repetitive mistake that you make. As long as you learn from that,
I want to make it better.
Right, as long as you
how
learn
can I,
from
how
that
can I make
and you
it better?
grow from that, and we all grow as people,
Dude, I
then
screw
it's
up
not a
every day of my
mistake.
life.
Then it's just a lesson, right?
Yeah.
So, we got to give him a little slack with that. But I mean, for him to be back, go in 4 races, back in the seat.
He's a
there
talented
again,
kid.
a Hendrick Motorsports car, I'm going to say, is probably some of the best equipment out there you could possibly be in. Super amount of talent.
Yeah.
And now it's really going to be on display for the next however many years Hendrick keeps him there, because he was in Ganassi. Ganassi's decent. Hendrick is up here winning championships. And I guarantee you within the next 4 years, you're going to see Kyle Larson compete for a championship. I'm not going to say win, but you're going to see him compete for a championship.
I'm glad he did well. And I'm going to tell you, for a while, he had the weight of the world upon his shoulders.
Oh, he did.
Dude.
Yeah.
He was crushing.
Yeah, he did.
And he
yeah, I mean, lost his job.
He lived through it.
Lost his
and
job.
He did good stuff.
He lost millions of dollars in sponsors. I mean, he lost a lot. And then he went out and did what he loved to do, and that's race.
And by the way, we ought to
so.
say that he was doing great things for segments of society before that.
Yeah, diverse NASCAR.
During that and after that. He will, he's not a good guy helping out disadvantaged people because he made a mistake.
Right.
He was doing that before he made the mistake.
Yeah.
And he'll be doing that next year when nobody remembers his mistake.
And one thing I will tell you about Rick Hendrick, of being a Hendrick driver fan for so long, I mean, I went from Gordon now to, Chase Elliott, as we all know. Rick Hendrick holds his drivers to a very high standard of how they carry themselves. Because if you go back through NASCAR history again.
It's called professionalism.
Right, oh, yeah, very professionalism. And you better be very professional, because just ask Kyle Busch how that worked. Guess who he drove for? Rick Hendrick. Guess who recruited him to come up? Rick Hendrick. Guess what sponsor he had? Kellogg's.
Yep.
Guess what happened when he was like 18, 19 years old and couldn't keep this closed, and the wrong things from coming out of it in interviews? Doesn't matter. Rick Hendrick, doesn't matter how much talent you have. If you can't do this and you can't carry yourself a certain way, you're not going to be racing there. So Hendrick's going to keep them straight. He's going to keep them straight, man.
I'm with you. This leads us to our checkered flag for charity of the year. Since the number 5 car of Kyle Larson won, we are donating $5 to our charity of choice. That's Help Save One of Our Own. But that's not good enough for us.
Never is.
We're gonna go ahead and put in $20 to help save one of our own.
Yep.
Now, going back to my brother from another mother behind the camera, Lawrence Bennett. Rubbin' and Grubbin' also had a raffle for a cooler of cheer during the Allman Brothers tribute show last weekend. Now, this is cool. I'm going to tell you, Savannah is full of some spectacular people, man.
They are, man. And that's what I say all the time, man.
Spectacular people.
I mean, we get to sit up here and we get to have our good time. We get to talk our NASCAR and drink beer and, do this and laugh. And, that's what we enjoy doing. But at the end of the day, we enjoy doing the charity work. Yeah. But it's the people that watch and the people that come in this community that give back. And that's what's amazing.
And it happened. I was on the boat today talking about this. Like, you would not believe the quality of the people that live in this community. I mean, just like the common dude, the common lady, they're out there and they'll win, they'll win $1,000 in a 50-50 raffle and they go, hey, I donate it back.
Yeah, give it back.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, those are the people, man. And like we say all the time, guys, you just saw us throw 20 in from the team here. Anytime for this cause, come by. Nickels, pennies, dimes, hundreds, tens, 50s. It does not matter. We do not care a denomination of money. Just throw some money in there, man. Help this good cause. Help other people in this community. Watch your money, your hard-earned money that we all work for out here. We all work for it. But, we'll go to the store and spend $7 on a bunch of stuff we really don't need? Why not come here and throw $3 in a bucket that you know is going to a cause that is going to really help a family in need or families in need this year? So there again, like I said, come by Coach's Corner anytime. Tell them you want to do a donation for help save one of your own, or tell them you want to just donate some money to what causes they have going on. They'll get you in touch with the right person. You can drop your 5, 10, 15, 20, 100, 50, doesn't matter. 10 cent, 20 cent, doesn't matter. Just come by, drop some money. Not only do you get to walk away feeling good about yourself that you're helping the community, you get to watch your money go to work too.
So the reason we're helping help save one of our own, and I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. The Affordable Care Act rendered health care unaffordable for a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that cannot afford to pay for health insurance. And occasionally, there is some, damn, I just broke my glasses.
I'll cover you.
Occasionally, someone finds themselves in a situation where they cannot afford to pay for health care, and wife gets cancer, husband, has a heart attack.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this family is facing devastation. And what happens at that point is, like, what do they do? What do you do when you get in a jam? Your loved one's in Memorial Hospital.
Bills don't stop.
And by the way, you can't work if you're taking care of somebody.
Right.
You can't work if you're driving to Jacksonville or to Atlanta. This is where this 501c3 charity, Help Save One of Our Own, comes in.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, to heck with everything else tonight, to heck with the show, this is serious business. These people that run this 501c3, they really, really do good things for the people that live in our community.
They do.
It's our own people, and Help Save One of Our Own does that. And Lawrence Bennett, the brains behind the camera, he put together this thing. So they had this, holy crow, they had this cooler, and people were winning it during the Allman Brothers show, and they go, I donate it back. And then somebody else will win, I donate it back. And then they said, well, heck, let's just auction it off, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So they get an auction going, and he goes up there, and we raise, drum roll please, $1,252.
Yeah, man.
That brings our total this year, 4 races into the season, $1,368.
Yeah, we're getting there.
And that doesn't even include the bowling challenge, which I failed miserably. Not bad.
No, not bad at all.
Not bad for a couple of crackers.
Man, like I said, all for a good cause, all for good charity, man. That's what it's all about.
Awesome. So where are we going next?
Woo, man, we're going to Phoenix, man.
Phoenix. Talk about Phoenix. Tell me about Phoenix.
Well, you might as well go ahead and get ready for my boy Chase Elliott to win that thing, but we'll talk more about that later on, man. Phoenix, very unique. Got a front stretch there where they cut that whole first turn almost down the apron. There again, restarts are everything. Now, the one thing I want to see that I saw in the fall a little bit, but I'd like to see in this race is the tire fall off. Now, I really hope Goodyear brings a different compound, like the tires actually falling off, like wear overlaps.
And the car slows down.
Car slowing down.
New tire go fast, old tire go slow?
Right. Okay. I've seen too many races at Phoenix, especially this one, or it used to be, the second or third race of the year. I've seen too many to where guys will come in on a full fuel run and not take any tires and go back out and run again. Or they'll come in and take 2.
So there is no tire fall off?
There is, very minimal though. So
it's not a cheese grater.
So like last week what we saw Kyle Larson do, and you come in and you get brand new tires, and you got a guy that's out in the lead, you're running almost 9 miles an hour faster a lap than him. That's how much tires fall off in Vegas.
So it's important to strategize the tire.
Correct. How you use it. Is everybody going to take 4? Is it this and that? So, and it's a shorter race. This weekend is a very short race. It's only a 300-mile race. That is not long at all. We just ran 500s and 400s. This is not a very long race.
Are we going to even have time to eat?
Right. This is not a very long race. So, like I said, the tire management I look for. There again, very unique style and shape of racetrack. I love it. They got the rattlesnake row or whatever it is they call it. That's up there where fans get to watch it.
Where the RVs are.
Yeah, fans get to watch it. Pull it up.
Say again. Monument
Hill. There you go, man. So, I love it. I mean, it's just very unique. It's been in NASCAR for a very long time. We're not used to seeing it in the season like we did last year, but there again, my boy Chase Elliott came home with a championship trophy. I expect the same thing this weekend, honestly. I expect Chase Elliott to go out and get the job done, man. But we're going to have to wait and see. Crazy restarts, watch out for tire wear. Let's see how that goes.
Right.
And let's see if there's no tire wear, what kind of pit strategy we get into late in this race. So
I suspect that I will be listening to that race on the radio in a boat out in the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, you better, man. You got to catch it. And
But-
if all else fails, you can listen to it on your NASCAR app, man. You download NASCAR app, you can listen to MRN straight from it.
We've already talked about Arbor Man, but I'm going to say it one more time. Thank you to Arbor Man Tree Service for being a sponsor for us. T-shirts are on the way.
Yeah, that's my man's in them right there, man.
If you are still here, I applaud your tenacity, because we talk about a lot, and I look like an old guy, he looks like a young guy. We drink beer, we talk smack. If you're still here, hey, thanks. We appreciate that. It would be really, really cool. You would do us a huge service. If you're looking at this on YouTube, there's this, you can go with your little remote, you can go up to the little 3-dot thing, and you go click on the 3 dots, and then you can go, hey, I like this video. And more importantly, you can go click, 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 and you go subscribe. It does not cost you anything to subscribe to Rubbin' and Grubbin'. It doesn't hurt. All it does is change the algorithm. And by the way, speaking of algorithms, it helps us.
It helps us big time, man.
It helps us.
Like, share, follow us on all social media outlets, man. Definitely, if you check us out on YouTube, subscribe that. Spread the word, spread the love, man. Like I said, that's all we're here for. Have a good time, make some money for charity, and talk NASCAR, man. So.
If you live in Savannah, Georgia, you want to come up here and talk NASCAR with us, come on. We'll put you right here. We'll go 3 wide.
That's
come on.
it, man. We'll get it rolling, man.
Listen, if you got a question or a comment about how's NASCAR work, I don't know. He does. You ask it. We'll talk about it. I'm just happy to be here with my friend.
I can't guarantee I know the answers, but I'll try to come up with one for sure. So.
If you didn't see last week, go and check out last week's show. We had 2 guest speakers.
Yeah, it's pretty
Bart
good.
Bain.
Yep.
Right? And Jerry Lee. Man, hey, how about those cards?
Oh, those cards are
were
cool, man. Yeah, we're going to get onto that here later in the season. It's going to be neat, man. But going back to Phoenix, Dan, five to watch, right?
Okay, 5 to watch.
5 to watch, man. Obviously, I already said, Chase Elliott's got to be my number 1. Like I said, wrapped up the season by winning the championship.
He's your guy.
Phoenix.
Of course, you always say Chase Elliott.
But he won this one last year, to win a
yeah.
championship. So, number 2 for me has got to be Brad Keselowski, okay?
BK.
You look at the way
Chase,
he's ran
BK.
all season long, very consistent, continues to build that momentum. Finished, I'm pretty sure, 2nd in this race or 3rd in this race. So I really, really expect him to have a good run. 3 for me, the 11 of Denny Hamlin's going to be right there. There again, runs pretty good at Phoenix, old school and new school. 4 for me has got to be Kyle Busch, not hard. 2 consecutive top 10s coming back again this week somewhere. Might have another top 10, building that momentum. Number 5, and this is where it gets difficult. This is where it gets really difficult. So a guy that was running really good, had a really dismal last week. We talked about him earlier. I look for Kevin Harvick to go out and have just as good a possibility again as anybody else. I left a lot of good cars out there that a lot of stuff can go wrong on, but just in my heart, those are my 5. Dark horse, I think. There again, a guy that we talked about earlier in the year already has a win, but I think you better watch out for Christopher Bell in that 20.
Right.
Or another dark horse, you better watch out for Eric Jones in the 43. He always ran the 20 good there. He ran the 95 good there, as did Christopher Bell. So those are 2 guys that definitely know how to run this race. If they've got a halfway decent car, those are 2 guys that could go out and maybe get it done or definitely post good finishes as well, man.
Bowman. Bowman's going to win the race. Bowman's going to win the race. I said it right here. Of course, if you've seen me bowl, you don't have to worry about that. Thank you to Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, for allowing us to be a part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network. We actually have 4 shows on this sports network. We've got Rubbin' and Grubbin'. We've got the Coach Carl DeMasi Sports Report.
Yep.
We've got the Hot Grits Podcast. And every time we have a major golf tournament, we have live from the 19th hole at Henderson Cabin.
Yep.
All right.
It's coming up. We got the Masters coming up here in April, so we don't have long to wait at all. So,
PJ Zuko, love being on the radio with you. Thank you, fans, for being part of the show. Atlanta man, take us home.
Going on to Rubbin', going on to the Grubbin', man. So we got
stop!
Yeah.
On the phone. I saw 3 fingers. I thought the 3. He held up 3 fingers. I was like, is he trying to do something with that middle finger?
We got
3 minutes. We got 3 minutes.
We got the Grubbin' coming up tonight. We got the lovely Miss Kim, LB's wife, bringing us up, and we're gonna see what we got. I don't even know what we got tonight.
Now look here. There is a brains behind the camera, and this is the brains behind the brains behind the camera.
That's right.
This is the
Thank you,
lady.
ma'am.
This is the lady that keeps him straight so that he can come here and do this show.
As straight as
How
possible.
straight he is.
Yeah, as straight
Thank
as
you,
possible.
darling.
Tomahawk chicken salad.
Tomahawk
Gotcha.
chicken salad. When you come to Coach's, you can get whatever you want.
Yeah.
And I saw this come out tonight for a gentleman who was playing in our game of skill. This is a fried chicken breast cut up. It's put on salad. This is like healthy and bad for you all at once.
This is one of my favorite meals here at Coach's. Me and Lindsay both love this. We go with this Gamecock salad. Any salad they have here is amazing. Chock full of veggies, meat, cheese, dressing. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. It's something that is a staple. If Lindsay doesn't come, she makes sure I bring home a salad for her for sure. So
Take us home.
hey, man, thanks for tuning in this episode of Rubbin' and Grubbin', guys. Like I always say, stay tuned. We got the Coach Carl DeMasi and AD Chad Griffin coming up tonight, man. Always a great show.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, man, big shout out again to John and Adele Henderson. Thank you, as always, for allowing us to come up and do this. You know, it means the world to me and Dan to be able to come up here and do this. Always giving back to the community, always doing good things. Always doing stuff to help everybody else instead of themselves, putting themselves second to everybody else, man.
They do.
Hey, like I said, if you haven't ever seen us in person, come out to Coach's Wednesdays, 6 o'clock. You'll catch the Rubbin' and Grubbin' crew. You'll see the whole thing, how it goes down. You know, if you come out, as Dan usually says, first beer is going to be on Dan Folds. On Sunday, you come up.
Tell him my
man,
name.
At the end of the day, like we always say, thanks for the love. Stay tuned for Coach Carl and the AD Chad Griffin. Great guys. Mask up. Have a great St. Patrick's Day celebration this weekend, and we got Patty's Day next Wednesday, which I'll be in green. I'll be ready for that. We're gonna be large and in charge. But hey, and come out and help Coaches celebrate 30th birthday this weekend with Departure Journey Tribute Band. Great show if you've never seen them.
Any
Mask
way
up,
you want
stay
it, that's
safe.
the way
Till
you
next
want it. Any way you want
Wash your hands, y'all. Yeah.
it. Thank you so much. Hey, man.